the most innovative video game, the best game, bus game, and the best student game. First, we're gonna meet the finalists of the indie most innovative game. And the first one to make the pitch is the Night Witch Super Mega Team.
Should I press play here? Hello everyone, thanks for coming today. I'm Enrique, CEO of Super Mega Team, a little indie studio based in Spain. And this is the Night Witch, or board game as a studio, as a team. And to talk about the little innovations we have in the game. First of all, you will see that the player is flying around inside a big dungeon. This is a Metroidvania mixed with shoot 'em up, mixed with deck builder. Which at first sight you might think, yeah, this is crazy. It shouldn't be working at all, but it does. We managed to make it work, just like peanut butter and jelly. I think it's a strange combination, but it does very well. I think probably the biggest innovation within the gameplay is the deck building feature. As a shoot 'em up, you have your cards in there, you can see, and they are changing all the time. As soon as you use one of the cards, your deck changes. What makes the players be super aware of what's going on. They make the players change their strategy when they're facing another combat. It makes the players stay awake at all times, which is a good thing, but the main reason why we liked to implement this deck building feature into the game, yeah? Another little innovation we have is that as a Metroidvania, you don't have like a huge map. You're unblocked with time and new items, but the game happens within a city, and within the city there are different neighborhoods. So each neighborhood is like a little Metroidvania by itself, with stuff to find, little secrets to find also, but also you will actually unlock some new things in other neighborhoods later on in the game. Also, one of the little innovations we have in the game is the link system. The link is how the players actually level up the character, but the link is given by the popularity of the main character with the people of the city. The main character is like a big superhero that's gonna save the city from the invaders, yeah. And the more popular your character is, the Night Witch, the stronger she gets, right? And that's why we implement a little thing which is we call the press releases, where from time to time we put the main character of the game in front of the press of the city, in front of the microphones of the press, and she has to explain what's been going on in the war, within the invasion of the city. And we give the players some options of lying to the public, as you can see here. This is the press release system. You can lie to the people and tell them everything is fine, everything is good, everything is fantastic. So you will get more popularity and you will get stronger, easier, Or you can tell the truth and feel better with yourself, but get less link and feel less stronger. And that also has a reaction with the little characters and NPCs in the game. They will react all the time when you talk to them during your playing, And also, and to finish, the last little innovation that I love personally, and that's something we didn't think it was as big as innovation, to be honest. It wasn't thought out, at the beginning of the project as something innovative or new or refreshing. But later on, players that bought our game told us it was something like super cool and refreshing to see in a video game, which is the main couple in the game, the Night Witch and his husband. The main character is actually the Night Witch. She's a 35-year-old woman, who is happily married to her husband. And that's something people will tell us, wow, I haven't seen that before in a game. Usually when you see someone married, You see it used as a cheap like drama turn at the beginning of the game, when they kill their wife or their husband, and all the drama, yeah, I'm angry and now I want revenge, This time, what you see during the whole game is just the husband and wife just having a healthy relationship. And that's something we didn't expect that people would like so much, People found it refreshing, which is cool, Other people found it like totally the opposite thing. It was like, yeah, I don't like your game because, the main character, she's a 35-year-old woman, so she's not available because she's already married. And we hate that. It was like, oh, okay, man, just you do you, right? But yeah, that's it for our game. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you have any questions, I think we have some time free for that.
Thank you very much. We love indeed 35-year-old woman, married or not married. Anyway, so not bad for the first game, isn't it? And the second game is American Arcadia from Out of the Blue Games.
Hello, everybody. Vale, ¿cuál es? Perdona. ¿A cuál le doy? ¿Este? Ok.
Eso se tiene que, si no, tira desde el ordenador, ¿vale?
Vale, perfecto. Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Rodriguez, and I'll be showcasing Out of the Blue second title. That's American Arcadia, sorry. Let's start with the trailer, and I'll explain a few things after that, okay? Okay. That's a great start.
Oh, Jesus. Angela? Angela! Are you there? What is this?
This, Trevor, is your life. A life that has been recorded and compiled right down to the last second. We'll get you out of here, I promise. Shit, shit, shit! Keep running, Trevor!
And an insider is helping him, one of us.
Oh, no.
Yes, I got it! Stay away or...
Hit him. What? Hey, no, I just saw it!
Live from the Arcadia Dome, I'm your host, Vivian Walton, and this is American Arcadia.
What on earth?
Let's see if I can go back now. Or we can keep scrolling through YouTube. There you go. So that's American Arcadia, where you can experience the story of a man that lives inside a reality TV show. If you are thinking of Truman Show, you're absolutely on point. But in this case, we'll be controlling two characters. One that's inside the show and the other that's outside in the control room. The first character is Trevor. He's inside the show, and Trevor is your everyday average man, but he's totally happy with his life as an office clerk, but that's not especially interesting for a TV show. So the showrunners are planning his execution, of course, without him knowing anything at all. Luckily for Trevor, he will have help from the outside, and that's Angela. Angela will be our contact outside the show, and she's, of course, not okay with Trevor's execution, and she will help him escape the show without getting killed, and in the process trying not to get caught herself in the process. Angela will be able to control parts of the scenery and help Trevor looking through the show cameras. With that, we have two different gameplays, two different experiences in the same game. When you play as Trevor, you will have a 2.5D platformer with some puzzles and running parts. And in the first person, and with Angela, you will play in a first-person game, solving puzzles with a whole new perspective, and doing everything in your hand to make sure that Trevor doesn't get killed. So American Arcadia is from the creators of Call of the Sea. So you can have you can enjoy a layered narrative and the same amount of polish they have with his first game, and also a lot of great cast. You have Luri Lowenthal from Spider-Man 1 and 2 and Call of the Sea. You have Crisia Bajos from Cyberpunk 2077 and League of Legends, and CC Jones from Firewatch and also Call of the Sea, bringing the characters and the world to life. And from starting with the first announcement until now, American Arcadia has had a lot of coverage, thousands of views on YouTube, and it was showcased in Tribeca Spotlight and also in Futures Game Show. And players and press alike only have but nice things to say about the game, and I hope you consider it as well. Thank you very much.
Well, and now for the last finalist in the most innovative indie video game. We had 4 finalists, but one of them couldn't make it here to the big conference, so that's why we have 3 only. And the last one is Laika, Edge Through Blood from Brainwash Gang.
Estaría guay bajárnoslo, ¿no? Para ya verlo en PPT.
Control L se puede. Puta madre.
No, pero bájatelo directamente.
Estoy en él.
We're on it.
¿Quieres el trailer antes?
Sí, pero no... Abajo, qué guay. Vale, genial.
Ahora no la sabes. ¿Quieres el trailer antes?
Sí, por favor.
Este. Lo siento, yo sube.
Sí, ponemos otra vez.
Tienes que mirar ahí, ¿vale?
Okay. Sorry, just 12 seconds of gameplay because no one should see so many gore at 11:30 a.m. Brainwash Gang, Laika, Innovation. Let's go to the pitch. Where is it? Here is it. So, present. Oh, was it? Yeah. I can see it. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Sí. Thank you. So, so Laika is based on a very simple gimmick, yet a unique one. You're on your motorbike, you kill fascist birds, and you reload your gun by flipping. How cool is that? That's so stupid and so simple and so unique that we had to thought about how many things we had to put up together so it worked, because there's never been before. So it's fun and it's gory, but how we do it? So we mix all the things that you see there, in order to make it work. And at the same time, a game like this doesn't need narrative, because it's fun, it's gory. That's what we like in video games. We want to kill fascist birds. And but oh boy, it has a narrative, and we did it. And if you have the blood, as you've seen, the blood of your enemies, well, in the gameplay, the narrative is about blood too, but the blood of your menstruation. Because what Laika does is to focus the narrative on taboos that have to do with the feminine body that you never talk about in video, almost never talk in video games. So in this way, we use the same element, blood, for the killing fun and for the, let's say, suffering motherhood, because the game, the narrative is based on how a mother is suffering because she wants to save, so to say, her daughter. But even if they share the blood component, I mean, there's a kind of dissociation. You know, all the killing fun and the gore, and it's gorgeous, and it's really cool choreographies, that Jogo Bonito, and this kind of things. And then melancholy, sad, suffering, motherhood. This is a dissonance, and we hate the word dissonance, don't we? So what we did was to find some kind of glue that put it all together. One of them was the art, the palette, the saturated, Western-like barren environment, and these cool niche techniques of oekaki that I had never heard about it before. And the second one is the music. The music in Laika, most of it is diegetic. Is the music, the songs that Laika, the hero, is hearing in her motorbike. So the words, the lyrics, and the music sung by Beikoli, a musician and composer, performer, what she says is what Laika likes to hear. And when she, Beikoli, and Laika is hearing, there's nowhere else, there's nothing else to do, there's nowhere else to go, there's nothing else to live for anymore, then you understand why the suffering. And when you find Beikoli as a diegetic character in the game, and she is one of the most disgusting and repulsive characters in the game, and Laika kills her, then you don't understand the thing, which is exactly what is happening to Laika. So I was saying that we were trying, to make things consistent between the killing fun and the suffering motherhood story, but that's not true. Most games strive to make all elements in their game consistent, working in the same direction with an objective, a common goal, to achieve some kind of emotion from the player. Laika does not this. Laika conflicts the killing fun versus the suffering, melancholic, sad narrative, music, and art. And then they explode together in your brain. And that's the message of Laika. Is not in the narrative, it's not in the music, not in the art. It's how they contrapose to the gameplay and how you understand this in your brain. One example of how we do that is with the pacifist birds. So you've been killing birds for like 17 hours, 15 hours, 12 hours, and then at 70% in the game, you realize that some of your enemies do not shoot back. And one of them tells you that they are pacifists. They have been drawn and they cannot say no, but they can refuse to kill. And they hope that one day the enemy won't shoot back and war will stop. And then you realize you've killed a zillion, more than 100, more, I don't know, than 1,000 pacifists, and something happens here. And then the whole gameplay changes because you start looking for the pacifists, trying not to kill them. There are many other things that I could say about how we made innovative things, the way that we even the horizontality in how we make the games. In the credits of Brainwash Gangs, they are in an arbitrary order without any role at all. But I think that the players will talk better. I mean, among the, let's say, now 100 English reviews on Steam, 145 of them use the word unique to refer to the game. And I'm not counting the ones that say original, innovative, new, fresh, or I'd never experienced something like this in my whole life. So please don't believe me, believe the players. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our 3 finalists to Most Innovative Game. And now we're going for something completely different with the Best Basque Game. We celebrate big conference here in the Basque country. So that's why we decided to include a special award for the Best Basque Game. And the first one to make the pitch for the game is Syzygy, The Power of the Eclipse, Pentagonal Studio. Are they here? Please welcome Pentagonal Studio.
Hola, hola. Vale. Big screen, not pressure. People who talks in English or just in English, hands up, please. Okay. I'll give you a little sheet because I'm going to make the presentation in Spanish. I apologize in advance. Sorry. Anyone else? No? Okay. Vale, pues voy a empezar la presentación. Yo me llamo Ibai Macho, pertenezco al equipo de Pentagonal Studio, donde hemos desarrollado Syzygy, The Power of the Eclipse. Vale, ¿qué es Syzygy, The Power of the Eclipse? O cómo se pronuncia siquiera Syzygy. Lo acabo de decir, Syzygy, no es Syzygy, Syzygy, bueno, es una tontería, pero como lo hemos escuchado tantas veces decir de formas extrañas, pues por especificar. Entonces, Syzygy es una aventura de género plataformas, un poco también de acción, aventuras, tiene puzzles, tiene trampas, es para todas las edades, para todo tipo de jugadores, tiene una paleta de colores muy exótica, lo veremos ahora en las screenshots, y también un tono de gameplay muy estilo retro, como tengo ahí puesto. Entonces, por generalizar un poco, tenemos el juego en PlayStation 4 y en PlayStation 5, porque no queríamos dar el salto también. El juego está también en euskera, ya que teníamos unos cuantos textos, pues queríamos traducirlos también. Y en principio es solo un jugador. Entonces, ahora os voy a poner un tráiler. Ahí va, pues no. ¿Lo podré pasar? Ahí está. tráiler es un poco enigmático, igual que el juego en sí. A ver si consigo volver. Vale. Pues tenemos dos personajes en el juego, ¿vale? Dos personajes principales que serán con quienes controlaremos básicamente la partida. Ichel es la hermana mayor, es bastante ágil, es una erudita, tiene incluso unos poderes de chamanismo que la permiten ver visiones, así empieza la historia del juego, de hecho. Y bueno, tenía unos GIFs pero que se ven más guay, pero bueno, con las imágenes bastará. Ichel en este caso salta muy alto, tiene un doble salto, ¿vale? Como mecánica principal, y recorre grandes distancias, lo que viene a ser el sprint. Entonces, con esto, con estas mecánicas, partiendo de estas mecánicas, empezamos a diseñar las distancias de los niveles y poniendo obstáculos para que puedas cambiar entre personajes, concretamente con Ichene, que es el hermano pequeño. Es bastante tonto, vamos a decirlo claro, pero tiene una fuerza colosal, tiene unos brazos gigantes y solemos decir en el equipo que se parece más a un primate que a una persona. Su hermana es, digamos, muy mandona, le guía mucho, bueno, le manda mucho, perdón, pero él también se deja un poco porque sabe que tiene buen corazón. Entonces, en el caso de Ichene tenemos una mecánica más, ya que teníamos unos brazos grandotes, pues queríamos aprovechar todo lo posible. No sabe pelear, pero siempre gira sobre sí mismo, ¿vale? Como es fuerte, pues con eso le vale. También puede romper jarrones y muros agrietados, a todos nos gusta romper cosas, entonces Ichene también, y hemos puesto muchos jarrones en el juego para que además se pueda aprovechar la mecánica de exploración y coleccionables. Y luego también tenemos algunos mecanismos como pueden ser puertas, interruptores, palancas y bueno, luego puertas que se accionan, y Chene utiliza bloques muy pesados para las plataformas. Entonces, tenemos unas screenshots, unas capturas de distintas situaciones, ¿vale? Tenemos muchas cosas que se repiten, como bueno, son props, evidentemente, pero luego hay situaciones únicas como el laberinto que veis ahí, o, por ejemplo, una aldea, que eso no lo vais a ver demasiado, un templo, que es un nivel más cerrado, más tipo mazmorra. Entonces, ¿qué hace especial a Syzygy? Bueno, pues nosotros hemos estado pensando en qué hace especial este juego, cuáles son los puntos clave, y creemos que las mecánicas sencillas pueden atraer a cualquier tipo de jugadores, sobre todo niños pequeños. De hecho, el PEGI es +3. Por si no había quedado claro, el target principal es para niños, ¿vale? Es familias con niños de hasta 7 años. Y también luego tenemos una duración de aproximadamente 2-3 horas, dependiendo de la habilidad de cada persona, que además luego se extienden con la rejugabilidad de los coleccionables y los trofeos, los logros. Luego además a esto se le añade el estilo artístico, que es muy exótico, tiene una paleta de colores fuerte y es llamativa sobre todo para los más pequeños. Entonces, un poco por ir a toda leche, ¿cuál ha sido el trayecto que hemos tomado? ¿Vale? En 2019 fuimos seleccionados por PlayStation Talents con un vertical slice. Veíamos que no estaba muy a la altura de lo que es PlayStation y empezamos la preproducción de nuevo. Entonces, mientras tanto, digamos que fuimos a varios eventos, Fan and Sirius, Madrid Games Week, Euskal Encounter, y mientras tanto pues, íbamos poco a poco cociendo el juego. En 2020, ya sabéis, hubo un parón, pero aprovechamos un poco el tiempo para hacer más presencia en redes sociales. De hecho, hay una foto mía ahí donde estoy posando con un filtro que hice para Instagram, un filtro de las máscaras de Ichel y Chen. Y luego ya en 2021 nos ponemos más en serio porque vemos que no está yendo a ningún lado. Nos dedicamos full al desarrollo hasta finales de 2022, donde comienzan las primeras betas, ¿vale? Las primeras betas dentro de PlayStation. En PC ya habíamos hecho betas, pero aquí ya empieza lo serio. Empezamos testeos más complicados, menos permisivos, y hasta llegar a las QAs, y después lanzamos CCG para PlayStation 4 y PlayStation 5 simultáneamente en la tienda online de PlayStation. Entonces, después de eso, hemos sacado un par de parches porque queremos comprometernos a hacer un juego cerrado. Y en el 2024, bueno, pues estamos un poco en el aire. Sabemos que existe la idea de portar el juego a PC o a otras consolas. Sabemos que Gamera y PlayStation Talents nos podría dar apoyo, pero aún lo estamos barajando. Y bueno, detrás de todo esto pues está el equipo, estos somos los que hemos lanzado CCG, ¿vale? Pero luego ha habido muchas más personas que han colaborado, han ido y han venido, colaboradores de sonido, SFX, de animación, de programación, pero bueno, estos somos los que han permanecido en la mayor parte del desarrollo de CCG. Entonces, si tenéis alguna pregunta podéis contactar con nosotros, vía email, redes sociales también, y pues eso es todo. Muchas gracias. Gracias.
Thank you very much, Ibai. And our next finalist is Galactic Grinder, Ponco Games, DigiPen. ¿Sí? So please welcome Ponco Games, DigiPen.
Hi everyone, I'm Sierra Piri, the representative of Ponco Games, and today I'm going to show you the pitch presentation of our game Galactic Grinder. So the game is a 2.5D action platforming game which takes you through the journey of the last skater in the galaxy that tries to save himself from the impending doom of the entire universe. So how is it played? The game is quite simple. You jump, you pump, and you grind across conveniently skatable planets in action-packed short games full of colorful hazards and distractions. As you master the controls and gameplay of the game, you will discover new ways to control your board and to get as stylish as possible. And if you are able to maintain a huge chain of tricks and combos and everything, you will be able to unlock the power to do the most incredible tricks ever. However, precision is not the main focus in this game, because we want for each player to give the ability to exploit his creativity by experimenting with everything the game has to offer, and as well as to master the different levels and challenges the game offers. Special awards are given to the most reckless skaters. And the story is about you take the role of Ryder, which is the last lunar skater. In the year 3022, skating has been banned from Earth as the Earthlings want to impose different and extremely expensive space and teleportations. And they ended up causing a universal cataclysm that was due to dangerous experimentation with warp teleportation. And so Ryder has to flee the moon, leaving everything and everyone, because a giant black hole threatens to consume the entire universe. And so in this journey, you will discover you will visit different planets with unique situations and landscapes. So explore the futuristic suburbs of the moon, full of grinds and roads, dodge and fly around the remnants of the civilization of the destroyed Earth, ride giant worms and unveil the secrets of the ancient civilization of Helios, the scorching desert planet, zoom around tornadoes and plants in the vine planet called Bacchus, and finally face the final challenge of the black hole that menaces to end it all in our game that is available in Steam for free. Any questions about the game? So that's all.
Thank you very much. And our third finalist in Best Basque Game is Cataclysm from Accurate Games, DigiPen. Hilya, please welcome Accurate Games.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that there was going to be people that didn't understand Spanish. So my script is in Spanish, and I feel that if I try to freestyle this in English, it's going to be horrible. So if you have questions, just ask me later. So eso. Buenos días, soy Jaime Betolaza y vengo a presentar Cataclysm, desarrollado por Accurate Games. Esto así, ¿no? Sí, vale. Somos un equipo de 4 programadores, entre los cuales me incluyo, 6 artistas y nuestros 6 gatos. De eso va un poco el juego. Bueno, Cataclysm es un juego 3D isométrico lineal de aventuras, en el cual el jugador controlará a nuestra protagonista, Vexa, la cual se abre paso a través de la ciudad musical de Sonata Town, intentando detener a su malvada ex mascota, Catuccino, el cual ha tomado el control de la ciudad con una armada de robots. Ahora un vídeo, que espero que funcione. Bueno, el tráiler. No, ¿verdad? Espera, o si no... No, bueno, no funciona. No pasa nada. Le doy aquí, ¿no? ¿Otra vez?
Sí, eso es.
Presentación, nada, el tráiler, pero no.
Lo podemos ver de tiempo de sobre.
Sí, el link, ¿cómo lo sacaría? Porque esto se supone que esto es, pero no. No, vale, pues nada.
Bueno, si no, cuando acabes lo podemos buscar en
Okay.
el correo, si está, ¿vale?
Well, there's no trailer. I thought this might happen, but it's fine. So, here, yes. So, when developing the game, al desarrollar el juego, teníamos claro que queríamos que fuese algo sencillo, pero que funcionase. Es por esto por lo que decidimos no irnos de madre intentando reinventar mecánicas y en su lugar crear algo más familiar y más familiar y casual a lo que todo el mundo está familiarizado. Es por esto que Vexa, al empezar el juego, cuenta con 3 mecánicas básicas. Un ataque melee, un disparo con alta cadencia y un daño reducido, y un dash, un desplazamiento con el que esquivar. Después, a lo largo del juego, se consiguen otras 3 habilidades, las cuales permiten superar ciertos obstáculos y a la vez aumentar el arsenal de armas. Esto incluye un gancho, el cual nos permite atraernos hacia ciertos puntos de anclado o atraer enemigos hacia nosotros para pegarles una patada. Un proyectil, el cual rebota entre diferentes mecanismos o enemigos para activar los mecanismos o hacer daño a los enemigos. Y un dash mejorado, el cual añade distancia al dash que ya teníamos y permite atravesar ciertas vallas. Luego tenemos los enemigos. No, esto no es. Aquí. Perdón. Luego tenemos los enemigos, los cuales son 4, y el boss final. Aquí lo mismo, la misma dinámica. No queríamos crear algo que la gente no conociese, en todo lo contrario. Tenemos un enemigo, el cual te ataca a melee, va corriendo hacia ti, y una variación que no está aquí, la cual rueda hacia ti, siendo invencible, lo que te fuerza a pensar un poco más cuándo ir a por él. Luego un volador, el cual se alejará de ti y te intentará atacar a distancia. Y un tanque, el cual tiene mucha vida, te intenta aplastar e invoca otros robots mientras lo hace. Y luego finalmente el Catuccino, el boss final, contra el cual tendrás que enfrentarte. Mecánicamente, el juego está inspirado en Tunic y principalmente en Tunic y Death's Door. Luego, el estilo y el diseño de mundo está más inspirado en No Street Roads y los niveles de ciudad de Crash Bandicoot. También los personajes y sus diseños están inspirados en juegos como el Brawl Stars. Y esto sería un poco todo. Espero que juguéis el juego y lo disfrutéis. Y ahora si tenéis, or if you have questions, then you can ask. Yes, maybe a ver si podemos poner el tráiler. So this is the trailer. Lo que no tienes. I imagine no questions, so okay.
Okay, thank you, Accurate Games. I just want to make a kindly reminder that in my last two emails where I was explaining how was going to be the final part of the contest, I said the juries most probably, should speak only English. So I encourage the teams to speak in English. And our last finalist from Best Game is Baraka from Somorro Studio. Just a bit more time.
Sí, igual. Espera. Ah, que no está ahí. ¿Cómo lo paso? Espera. Joder. ¿Cómo? Espera, ¿eh? Sí, que no, con esto no, claro. Vale, kaixo, egunon, buenos días, bueno, casi es mediodía. Primero, muchas gracias por invitarme a Big Festival, es todo un honor estar aquí, la verdad. Y bueno, yo me llamo Ibai Izpurua y esto es Barraka. Con lo... Ay. Ahora sí. Vale, Miesker, muchas gracias. Pues bueno, yo soy Valles Purua, soy solo dev, hago videojuegos en solo, bueno, solitariamente, hago casi todos, menos la música, que luego ya hablaré de eso. Y eso, me encanta hacer prototipos de videojuegos, juegos pequeños, me encantan las Game Jams, hace poco organicé la primera Game Jam en euskera. Y bueno, Barraca empezó con una beca que recibí casi hace 2 años, pero luego lo seguí desarrollando, ¿vale? ¿Qué es Barraca? Barraca es un juego de puzzles y aventura hecho en plastilina, ¿no? La gracia del juego, en parte, es el estilo gráfico. Y bueno, en Barraca pues, está la niña pequeña que se llama Ainhoa, que se adentra, bueno, está en unas barracas porque su madre es churrera, y su madre le dice, va, pues cuidado, no te metas en líos. Y bueno, abre un baúl y sale una bruja, está encantado, las barracas quedan encantadas, o las ferias, o los tíos vivos. Y eso es un juego que pasa en los 90, entonces para mí tienes el punto nostálgico de la niñez, las chuches, las barracas, los churros y esas cosas. Bueno, ¿cómo trabajo? Bueno, el juego cómo está hecho, en parte, la parte gráfica, ¿no? Que es como lo curioso. Normalmente pues hago un montón de bocetos, un montón de concepts y luego empiezo a modelar en plastilina, ¿vale? A veces hago todo junto, otras veces aparte, empiezo a modelar. Y pues eso, diferentes partes. En este caso, el personaje, pues están aparte, están animados las partes aparte, ¿vale? Y empecé a modelarlo. Esto, digamos, sería stop motion o claymation clásico, ¿vale? Esto está un poco así todavía, stop motion, pero en digital lo arreglo, ¿vale? Hago el montaje del personaje, por ejemplo. Y este ya sería el resultado, ¿eh? Que me quedé bastante satisfecho. Este es uno de los personajes más complicados del juego para animar. Y lo mismo con todos los personajes. Hay que hacer lo mismo con casi todos los personajes. Pues eso, el protagonista, que además tiene más perspectivas que los demás. También están autos de choque o bumper cars, que son, bueno, pues eso, autos de choque, lo controlas y pues andar con otros. Hay que hacer todas las perspectivas. Lo mismo, bocetos, concept art, diseños de payaso. Me quedé muy a gusto con el payaso, la verdad. Efectos. Muchas veces se nos olvida que los efectos están ahí y eso, animarlos a veces cuando estamos acostumbrados a hacer solo personajes, pues es un poco más complejo a veces. Objetos de todo tipo. En el juego nos podemos encontrar desde churros, llaves, mochilas y demás. Todos los objetos interactivos hay que animarlos. El puente, todo lo que se ve, hay que hacerlo. La parte de aviones, que está bastante gracioso, ¿no? Como lo hago un poco. Y bueno, la gracia del juego es que todo ocurre en una plaza. Y en esta plaza pequeña está conectado con todas las barracas. Podemos acceder desde este hub world o lo que sea a diferentes barracas y cada barraca O cada tío vivo es un pequeño mundo que es un minijuego o es una parte de exploración y así. Quería que cada parte tuviera personalidad y un color de paletas diferentes. Este es el boceto de la plaza principal. La plaza a oscuras, que al final el juego empieza de día y ya cuando está embrujado es de noche y luego al final otra vez es de día. Y sonidos, pues sonidos, muchos sonidos los hago yo, empecé haciéndolos yo, la mayoría grabándolos y demás, pues eso, con el matasuegras y demás. Pero bueno, luego la verdad es que muchos están sacados de bancos libres de sonido y así. Y eso, lo mismo, pues muchos sonidos para mí son nostálgicos y así, pues el martillo de juguete, y eso, el matasuegras o la serpentina. Y como un amigo dice, ¿no?, que si algo se oye bien, se ve mejor. Y yo le doy bastante importancia al sonido. Y ya para acabar, que bueno, aunque sea solo Dev en teoría, ¿vale? Gonzalo Sardón, que también es mi mejor amigo de mis mejores amigos, es músico y tengo la suerte de que hace melodías muy pegadizas. Incluso en algunas partes él se ha adelantado en el proyecto a mí, entonces en algunas fases él ya tenía la música antes que yo lo tuviera visualmente. Entonces a veces me ha inspirado y bueno, también es mi mejor beta tester. Y bueno, así es Barraca, está disponible para Android, en Itch.io y pronto en Steam. La mejor versión yo creo que ahora mismo es el de Itch.io, porque el de Android lo tengo que actualizar. Y bueno, pues esto es Barraca y muchas gracias por vuestro tiempo, la verdad. Ya, no sé si tenéis alguna pregunta, if you have any questions, or... Oh, mira, hay una pregunta interesante. ¿Hay dos micros o...? No. Vale. Ah, vale. ¿Cuánto dinero te has gastado en plastilina? Buena pregunta. No mucho, no mucho. La cosa es que empecé a hacerlos bastante grandes, pero luego me di cuenta, a ver, si lo hago grande, luego no se ven las marcas de los dedos y eso. Entonces, empecé a hacerlos un poco grande, pero según fui avanzando hice como el tamaño lo necesario. Y también no busco que sea perfecto, porque si quiero que sea perfecto, lo hago en 3D. Porque luego en 3D darle imperfección es más curro. Entonces, eso, saco fotos que se vea, que parezca que esté hecho por un niño, ¿no? También, que es una excusa para hacerlo más fácil, pues también. No sé, ¿alguna pregunta más? Ahí, vota. Sí. Yo utilizo un programa muy sencillo que se llama Construct, que va por la tercera versión. No es tan conocido como Unity y Unreal. Día a día es más conocido. Incluso yo mismo he dado talleres de Construct y así. Y yo en principio no soy programador, pero puedo hacer videojuegos. Entonces llevo tiempo haciendo prototipos y pequeños juegos con Construct. Y aunque no me paguen, os animo a probarlo. Tiene versión gratuita, está muy bien y es muy visual. Y eso, que yo no soy programador, soy capaz de hacer un juego. O sea, que a mí me ha abierto las puertas. O sea, ¿algo más? No. Vale. Pues, Millesker, muchas gracias.
So that Rosie and Andrew know what he has been asked. They asked him about how much money he has spent on plasticine. And he said, not so much. It's very cheap. And what engine did he use? And he said he used Construct. Yes. And he encouraged people to use it because it's very easy. Yeah. And also he said he's not a programmer and he has been able to make a video game on his own with this engine. So that was our last finalist from the Best Basque Video Game. And now we're going to the Best Student Game. We have talked about the indie games in general. We have talked about Basque games, as big conference is here. And now we're talking about the future with our Best Student Game. There are 4 finalists. The first is Regenesis from Klopsin, from Utah. Are they here? Yes, here they come. Please welcome Klopsi with Regenesis.
El micrófono, entonces, así.
Sí.
Vale.
Sí.
Okay. ¿El mando?
Tienes un vídeo.
¿Eh?
Tienes un vídeo.
Sí.
Y le das a escape y lo tienes la carpeta aquí, ¿vale? Lo pones.
Okay. Hi, we're Klopsi, and we're here to present Regenesis. Regenesis is a tactical RPG where you control a group of survivors in a post-apocalyptic world where they face off against mutated monsters. Let's talk about the setting first. As I've said, Regenesis is set in a post-apocalyptic world. However, this is not a world that has died. It's a world that's been born anew. Some time ago, an unknown spore contaminated the Earth's atmosphere, making life on the surface impossible for humans. The few survivors that remained were forced to live underground, where they created new communities and shelters. Meanwhile, on the surface, the fauna and flora were mutated by this spore. Some forming symbiosis with it, while others were subjugated by it. Our three hunters, Ola, Kaeo, and Isaac, go on expeditions to the surface to hunt these hostile mutated animals, using their resources to survive and thrive in this world. Now, let's look at the key elements of Regenesis. Typically, in tactical RPGs, consist in battalions of units fighting against each other. However, in Regenesis, you only lead a group of 3 hunters against one formidable enemy. Every mutated animal has its own distinct mechanics, making every encounter feel more unique. Next, Regenesis allows for extensive customization of your own playstyle. The hunters use different equipment kits that define the role and possible actions in combat. Additionally, there are various items with different effects that can add more possibilities to defeating your enemy in combat. Finally, turn organization is managed through a dynamic system called the timeline. Every combat element is placed there and moves through it. When they reach the end, their turn occurs. For the hunters, the actions you make influence how quickly they can act again, but you can also influence the speed of other combat elements with your own decisions. Now, let's take a deep dive into the gameplay. The game is divided in 2 main zones, combat and the base. You will move between these two constantly as you play. Considering this, the gameplay loop works as follows. The main action is the missions. In these missions, you will fight against powerful enemies in confined spaces with unexpected environmental events. This is the time to put to use your weapons and items that you decided to bring to eliminate this threat. Next, if you manage to overcome the challenge, you will be rewarded with materials to exchange for items or to craft and upgrade your equipment kits. And as well, as repetition is key in Regenesis, everything you learn in each mission will make you stronger for the next. After a very challenging hunt, you will return to your base, an abandoned train that survivors use as headquarters, transportation method, and home. Here, you can upgrade and craft equipment kits for your hunters, obtain items on the shop, and prepare yourself for the next hunt. You will have to know what you will face ahead to know what to bring to each hunt. Now, let's take a look at the art direction. The game's main aesthetic is pixel art with characters, mutated animals, and environmental elements as sprites, while the scenarios are 3D models. Our main goal with the aesthetic was to create a contrast between the post-apocalyptic look of the world and also convey the feeling of hope that surrounds it. To achieve this, we made a contrast with the muted and neutral colors of the ruins of the old world and the vibrant and lively colors of the hunters and the other new life forms. The main agent of change in this world is the spore that causes highly aggressive mutation in living beings. The tentacles and roots, salmon-colored, will represent the presence of this unnatural entity. Finally, the animals you encounter in the missions have mutated in several ways. They have increased in size, they have become much more aggressive, and their physiology has changed in some strange ways, making them truly dangerous monsters. Now we're going to take a look at the trailer. Ay, no, este es el de like. ¿Dónde está el trailer? ¿Este es el trailer? Tranquilo. El trailer, este sí. Sí.
¿Es este?
Sí, es ese. well. So thank you for your attention.
If I remember well, your game is on Steam?
Yes.
Okay, it's free on Steam. And thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here. And our second finalist is cartography from Koala in a Box from NT University.
Probablemente os haya cerrado sí, con el pincho y pista. No tardamos nada. Nos tomamos con tiempo.
Aquí está. Aquí está.
Ahí.
Y ahora hay que copiar todo esto.
Ahí está.
Ahora tengo el control C.
Ahí tienes el tag, pim, pam, lo que sea.
Lo que sea, sí. Da igual.
Ábrete esa y máquina.
Aquí.
Enchufa control V, eres una máquina. Pues nada, ahí tienes un
Aquí,
reloj.
let's go. Sí. Mi puta madre, espérate.
Ahí, fuera. Venga, genial, gracias.
¿Se ve? Va, perfecto. ¿Esto pasa? Increíble. Vale. Well, hello everyone. My name is John Messias. I'm game designer at Koala in a Box, and today I'm very excited and grateful to be here to talk about cartography. First of all, I wanted to give you a little more context about us. We are 6 students from the University of Barcelona. We teamed up with the objective of creating our final degree project, which eventually became cartography. In fact, we liked it so much that right now we are developing it in our free time. So to understand what we wanted to do, basically we wanted to take games in the style of Banjo-Kazooie or Mario Odyssey, so collectathons, take the structure of the games and the focus on movement mechanics, and add some elements from slow games and cozy games. From slow games, we wanted to add a freedom of space, giving the player the availability to walk and explore the world at their own rhythm. And we also wanted to add a more cozy feeling so that the game would make them feel at home. So that's exactly what we tried to do. And eventually became cartography, which is a 3D collectathon platformer centered around movement and exploration with a slow and cozy feel with a low poly style. In the game, the player takes the role of Tofu, which is the center cat here. And he's basically a cartographer that's exploring the world, drawing his map, and comes across Arcadia, which is a small island populated by a family of cats. Unfortunately, the cats have lost their home, so Tofu takes it upon himself to find the scattered yarn that is found in the island and build their home again. With this premise, the player is then thrust into the story, and he's free to roam this island by themselves. They don't have any limit, and they can do whatever they want with all the movement mechanics that they are taught at the beginning. With that in mind, what we wanted was to make collectathons more accessible for everyone. We wanted to make an easy game, easy to pick up and play, and fun to create and to innovate with the movement system. Even with just a couple of tests, we already found a lot of people that made moves possible that we didn't even think of. And outside of that, with all the yarn that you collect around the island, you don't only unlock the cats' houses, you also unlock new abilities that create new spaces of possibility for the player. When we released our demo, a 30-minute demo back in July, the reception was honestly overwhelming. We were very happy. We were featured in Atch.io front page for a couple of days. There were fun videos about us. And we also got retweeted in the Wholesome Games, which boosted our visits and maybe a bit our egos, because that's what we were looking for. We are very happy with that. So looking forward, we are proud of what we have right now, and we know there's a lot to be done, but the only thing we want to do is give Tofu the opportunity to make people as happy as he makes us. So thank you very much, and if you want to play, you can play it here.
Okay, this is another game that you can play already in Itch.io. And our third finalist from Best Student Game is Bags and Guns from Blickshot, Utah University.
Sí, prueba si quieres. Eso es. Ahí tienes 10 minutillos, ¿vale?
Vale. Okay, hello. I am Markel Kuana. I am level designer and game designer of Blinkshot. And today I'm here to present you Bugs and Guns. And what is Bugs and Guns? Bugs and Guns is a third-person shooter. It's an online cooperative multiplayer where two players have to escort a train through an hostile alien planet. We will be in our first day in the worst job in the galaxy or in the universe. We are like intergalactic garbage disposer or something like that. And the protagonist of our story will be Marco West, or as we call effectively, Marcos. Marcos will be talking with us on the story. He has controversial humor, he's like a child, and he will embarrass us sometimes, but trust me, he's a good guy. We will embody these two characters, Bugs and Guns, and collaboration in Bugs and Guns is something that is fundamental. In Blinkshot, we want to move away from the competitiveness of the shooter multipliers, and we want to focus on the interdependence, the collaboration, the cooperation, talk to the people. This way, combination and collaboration with your partner will be fundamental to survive in this world. And how are we going to protect Marcos? It's easy, by shots. Okay, maybe not so easy, because the weapons in Bugs and Guns are not common weapons. We have elemental weapons with unique effects and unique type of shots. For example, if we shoot to an enemy, then we will apply this element to the enemy. This will have secondary effects. But also, if we shoot to the ground, then we will create these elemental areas. And these elemental areas will apply also these secondary effects to the enemies. So every weapon has a unique type of shoots, unique type of elemental areas that creates unique effects, and thinking what is the better weapon for each situation is very important in Bugs and Guns. And as I say, collaboration is fundamental. Why? Because the weapon can have combinations. Every player has his own weapon set, and the weapons of this weapon set cannot combine. So we can only combine with the weapons of our partner. So collaboration with our partner is the most important thing here. And if we play effectively, then we can create chain reactions. For example, here we are using the Biomucus gun and the lava gun to create these chain reaction explosions and kill all the enemies at one shot, at one time. This is the most important thing in our game. But it's not only this in Bugs and Guns. We also will have these obstacles that we will need also to solve. In Bugs and Guns, everything works by shots. For example, here we are using the aerogel and the electroplasm weapon to surpass this gate. So sometimes we will need to think what is the better combination and how we can solve these problems. And for those who have been thinking or been paying more attention, they will see that there is another gun. This is the Blinkshot. This is the most special gun for us. This is the gun that gives us the name of our studio. The Blinkshot is like a revolver. When you shoot, you can teleport. And with this, we can have a crazy movement in our game. And also, it is very cool, so we like it. In the world of Bugs and Guns, we will find these pink bubbles that are the blink points. With these blink points, we can recharge the Blinkshot. So like this, we can be chaining and chaining Blinkshots in the air, creating more and more crazy movements. And why we have all these weapons? It's simple, because we have also a lot of different enemies. For example, we have this climbing enemy that will climb for over the wall. We have also flying enemy that will attack us in distance. We have turret that shoots projectile that create explosions. And we also have a very big flying enemy. Please, if you see this enemy, be scared. With all these enemies and this combination, we create some different and a lot of different situations of combat situations. And every situation has his own weapons that are more effective for that. So we will need to use all the combinations, all the weapons, also the Blinkshot to survive in this world. Bugs and Guns is a very difficult game, so we will need to use everything that we have in our hand to survive. And what happens if we dead? Okay, really nothing. Because for Bale, the company that has hired us, we are not important at all. The only thing that is important is the train, is Marcos, the cargo. So we need to protect him at all costs, even of our life. If we die, really nothing happens. But if Marcos dies, it's game over. And as I have mentioned, Marcos is a very crazy guy. So he will put us in unexpected situations, in crazy situations, and we will need to react to him. We will be protecting him, we will be over him, we'll be in unexpected situations every time. So reaction also is very important in Bugs and Guns, paying attention on what is Marcos doing. Sometimes Marcos will be scared, sometimes Marcos will forget about us, and we will need to pursue him in this platform situation. But again, trust me, Marcos is a good guy. And we will need to collaborate with him. It's not only collaboration with our partners, it's also collaboration with Marcos. In summary, this is Bugs and Guns. We like to say that Bugs and Guns is something like It Takes Two meets Doom, with also something about Deep Rock Galactic and the humor of Rick and Morty. And all these things mixed, we create a movement-scored shooter, very unique experience. And I don't want to waste you more time. You can play it on Steam if you want. I will leave you with the launch trailer.
Oh, you two were assigned to the disposal team. Well, Planet Nova Trash is a great place, full of beautiful and harmless life forms. Your mission is to protect the cargo at all costs. So, good luck. Guys, did you abandon the cargo? If it gets destroyed, you can kiss your salary goodbye. So, try not to die so often. Get ready, it's showtime.
If you have any questions, this is the moment. No? Okay, thank you very much.
And another one you can play on Steam. And our last game to pitch today is Night Overhand from DJ A. Udit. Are you here? Okay. So welcome, Night Overhand.
Sí, lo tenemos puesto en la tercera diapositiva, pero si no lo tenemos suelto también en la carpeta.
Perfecto.
¿A qué botón se pasa? Aquí, ¿no?
Eso es, pruebas.
Sí, ¿no? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, thank you very much for the applause. So my name is Jesus Garcia. I'm part of DJA Games, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our game Night Overhand, or KO, as we like to call it. First of all, just to note that even if the text in the presentation is in Spanish, I'll be doing the presentation in English. So I think it's, with my explanation, it'd be enough for you to understand, but in case there's any doubt, feel free to ask at any point. So I'll start by introducing the team. So we had a really small team, just 3 of us. It's me taking part of the design and production team. My 2 friends and colleagues, Alberto and Dario, taking over the tasks of art and programming respectively. A bit of insight on how we came up with this game. We knew we had a small team, and from what we could see in our university, we knew that one of the main problems when it comes to developing a university game is trying to overachieve or trying to make a project that's too big for your capabilities and ending up with a half-finished project. So we tried to stay as far away from that and make like a small and really polished game. We didn't, at least at first, but we realized soon enough to shift a bit what we wanted to do. At first, we wanted to make this 2D platform game where our character would have like a really wide range of tools that they could use to complete each level. But as we were starting to prototype it, we realized that it was a bit too much work for us, given our limited time. And also it was a bit too much for players, so we tried to stick with only the mechanic that we thought was the most fun of it, and just try to polish and make a game around it. A smaller game, but a really fun and simple game. So we kept the classic hook mechanic and tried to boost it as much as we could through level design. I'll show you a small video first, and then I'll explain you a little bit how everything works. So that's a bit what our game is about. I'll give you a small insight about it. So KO is a 2D platforming game that we developed in Unity using mostly pixel art. We tried to make a game that kind of boost our team's strengths. So we took what we got together and thought about what every one of us wanted to do and came up with this game. As I said before, our core mechanic is the hook mechanic, which is kind of a classic mechanic that most games use since a couple of years ago. But we thought that it wasn't so common to see a game that used it as a core mechanic, and even less common maybe in a 2D platform game. So we tried to use it. You can use it mainly in two ways in our game. You can either hook flying enemies to kind of boost yourself towards them, or grab other enemies to balance yourself and reach new places that you can normally reach just by jumping. We wanted to make a really, not a frustrating, really hard game, but like a challenging game. So we tried to stick to this simple mechanic and polish it as much as we could to give really responsive controls. Because we know that these games focus on being polished and not being unfair for players in order to avoid that, making it frustrating. And that's what we tried to achieve. As of now, we have a small kind of beta or a vertical slice game, but we made it in a way that's really modular, so we can make it bigger at levels really easily. And we want to make in the future more zones, some more find more ways to use this hook mechanic and try to make a more complex and fun experience. And I'd say that's pretty much all of it. Thank you very much for your attention. If there's any question, feel free to ask.
So thank you everybody for being here to attend the pitches. And now it comes the hard time for us. The jury will be Rosie Ball from the publisher Chucklefish, Andrew Dickinson from the back, and myself. So let's go and decide who are the winners.